Blessings and greetings, everyone, from an early morning here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And coming to you today with a message. Kind of excuse my weird position. I don't have a good backdrop here, but anyway, I wanted to share with you some insights, downloads that have been coming through for me for your consideration at this time. So, as we move now into the end of the year, we move into the solstice period. We're in that sort of window of transition from the old year, calendar year, to the new, and significantly some old energetics to new. So, just to paint that picture quickly astrologically, for those of you who may or may not be aware, a quick reminder of that, we'll go astrological and then kind of like astronomical energetic for Earth, and then what that means for us. So that's kind of how we're going to look at this now. Astrologically, Pluto just, as you may know, Pluto just moved into Aquarius, where it'll be for 20 years. We also have, during 2025, we have all of the outer planets are moving from slower earth and water signs to faster fire and air signs. So there's an indication of acceleration, and also acceleration for power to the people, Pluto Aquarius, and liberation from oppressive structures, Pluto leaving Capricorn. And other there's other signatures as well, but this isn't an astrological conversation or presentation. So that's that piece. The electromagnetic field of Earth again has been it's reduced. We have more light frequencies coming in. We've had a huge year of solar activations, which have activated a lot. We have more truth and revelation coming out about shenanigans, about misinformation, about health stuff. And we now have a situation, at least in the States, but I think in Europe and Mexico, elsewhere as well, this whole unexplained phenomena in the skies. And there's a lot of theories and thoughts on that. But basically, it's like activation, acceleration. And of course, if you follow any mainstream stuff, which I don't, but we know that the continued press and push for fear agendas, keeping people in fear about things, is continues. It continues. I mean, they're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at the mainstream consciousness, and to stave off the inevitable awakening of humanity because of the amount of light moving through the photon belt, solar activations, cosmic plasma awakening us, stimulating our DNA, all of that stuff. To say nothing of all the deeply devoted light workers who have been dedicated for decades to reawakening love on this planet. So all of it's underway. Here we go into 2025 shortly, where we have even more acceleration. So here's what I'm seeing in the field personally and what's coming through for me that I would like to share with you. May this serve you well. We are all being given an opportunity to resolve deep-seated, sometimes incarnationally, repetitive patterns that do not serve love and do not serve our capacity to open our heart stargate to be the love we wish to see in the world. We are being given this opportunity now because of the amount of light intelligence pouring forth, moving through us, and activating us. So, what that means is that many of us, if not all of us, are being faced with the deepest challenges. And we can look at the usual suspects. What are the usual suspects? Money, relationship, health, career. And so I'm noticing in my small sphere of the world, but also kind of when I look a little bit in the public sector, that those who are sensitive to the light, who are activated by the light because they've done some inner work, or it's their soul's plan, let's just say it's their soul's plan to wake up in this life, are facing some challenges, myself included. And again, it's going to be in one of those areas typically. Now, sometimes that comes as what we say is a 2x4 upside the head or out of left field, rug pulled out from under you, whatever metaphor you want to use, where there's suddenly a great challenge in your life where you're like, oh my God, a relationship collapse, a unexpected health thing that's happening for a lot of people, right? Career shift, or a sudden realization within that I can't keep doing, fill in the blank, the way I've been doing it. And so there's the requirements, the call from our soul, our higher self, spirit, divine, to countenance that, to face that and go, whoa, I've been living a lie in this area of my life, or I've been neglecting that area of my life, or I've been suddenly facing like, wow, my life is not what I thought it was going to be. My entire future timeline has suddenly been truncated because of whatever. So there's that level of it. And then there's another level, and I was just speaking about this in my private community. And the next level of that is to look at, once you sort of come to grips with and grapple with the issue, whatever the presenting issue is, and really understanding that this is coming up for my benefit, so that I could heal it, clear it, resolve it, and liberate myself, so that I come to a higher level energetically, because I no longer carry around this low frequency, whatever it is, old pattern. So we see that. And then, or maybe as part of that, look very closely at, especially if you've done a lot of inner shadow work and you're like, I thought I was done with this. Look at your ingrained pattern of dealing with these types of issues. Do you tend to get frustrated? Do you tend to get angry? Do you go into pity party, woe is me? Do you get into action right away before actually feeling the feels? That's one of my default settings. Do you check out with watching YouTube videos? That's another one of mine. Do you check out with substances? Just notice the pattern that you tend to have when faced with something that really is uncomfortable. And the invitation here is not simply to clear whatever that is that's being presented, but to actually shift. This is a little bit about the how. Okay, we know the what is, okay, I've just had a situation arise that I know at a soul level I'm here to clear and release. So that's first, right? But then also to look at the pattern of the typical way you've done things before and see if there needs to be some try something else invitation. So for example, let's say when you are faced with a big challenge, your pattern is, I'm going to work out all my anger at the gym. I'm going to push myself really hard and exercise and kind of get my frustrations out. It's not like that's a bad thing per se, but what I would say is, because the new energetics that are coming in, maybe it's worth checking out, and I'm going to go earth myself and sit in silence under a tree. Or vice versa, maybe always for you, it's like, wow, when I'm really faced with a challenge, I sit in silence, I meditate, I pray, I earth, I do my spiritual practices. Now look at, or maybe you just, get angry and get pissed off and check out. Whatever it is, or it's usually a combination. If you're listening to this, you're not just unconsciously checking out, I'm sure. Feel into what might be a new way of, you want to disrupt, you want to shake up the old patterns. Not just the pattern presenting that needs to be resolved, but the way you cope with problems as they present themselves. So it may be that you do want to go to the gym because you are always one who says, I'm going to calmly deal with this. Maybe you need to get some exercise, because what that does is, when you shake up the pattern of how you go about resolving issues, you actually crack open spaciousness in your openness for guidance to receive new perspectives. So for example, someone who always goes to the gym, maybe they're in their rote pattern in that, and it does get out the frustration, but it doesn't open them up to receive guidance. Someone who meditates all the time may go into a deep state of peace, but it may be the exercise that actually, how they say, like, you get inspiration In the shower, well, maybe it is like walking on the treadmill. All of a sudden, boom, you get a picture, a download, a vision. Wow, cool. So that's the message that's coming through right now is whatever you're going through or not going through, there are many right now who are being faced with deeply buried old stuff. As you clear the layers, right? Where do you go? You get to the deep stuff. So please don't make yourself wrong. Please don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Don't beat yourself up. This is your liberation invitation. We have been steeped in deep density for possibly many incarnations and certainly many generations. So this is the time for us to liberate. And the more we lean into that, the better our results can be. And it's also an invitation to shake up the pattern. Look at how you've been dealing with things before and say, how can I do this a little differently to open up for new information, new insights, new perspectives that maybe I can't see from my usual strategies for resolving something. Finally, just a reminder, and as is always the case, when I share this with you, I'm also reminding myself, patience, mercy, and compassion for yourself. Patience, mercy, and compassion. We are all going through a great transformation on this planet, and no one said it would be easy. However, the reward is greater peace, greater well-being, greater acceptance of what is, or allowance, we could say, of what is. And ultimately, we are feeding the field of our collective with higher frequency love, light, and intelligence to support the lifting and rising of all of humanity and to support the liberation of Gaia from the density and contraction of a realm of that has not been in service to life or to love. So whatever you're going through during this holiday season, this solstice season, I'm sending you heartfelt blessings and much love. For I know that we are moving close now to a period where we can come into more celebration. So patience, mercy, and compassion for yourself and all others. Shake up the patterns and know that if you're facing something that feels like it's turned your world upside down, the love and the guidance of the divine has your back, holds you in love's presence, in love's arms. You are not alone. You are not alone. Sending you much love, bright blessings. Until next time. Mwah. Thank you for being here with me. Oh, also, by the way, if you are looking for guidance of any kind, or astrological kind, I should say, not any kind, astrological or tarot guidance, I'll put the link to my astrology readings below, just in case that is a gift you would like to give yourself for the new year. Okay, bye for now.